What have you done to combat fatherlessness in the Black community?
You're accepting that we have an issue with fatherlessness in the Black community. You're accepting that, I assume.
Actually don't. But
I'm not. You said that.
I didn't think so. So you're not accepting it, and you're asking me, what am I doing about something that you don't accept?
No.
Now you want me to answer.
Larry,
it's your campaign, Larry. Larry, this is your campaign. Your campaign is about fatherlessness.
I'm happy to answer the question, provided that you acknowledge that there is a problem.
Larry, get the fuck out of here.
I don't think that there is an issue with Black fatherlessness in the Black community. And I'm going to tell you why.
I'm not with nobody, because I don't want to hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you want to be somebody, even if you got to leave somebody.
Earlier in the interview, she was saying that she doesn't believe that there's an issue with Black fatherlessness in our community. Larry Elder, he runs his campaign based off of that. So she was basically telling him to explain, what have you done to combat the Black fatherlessness issue that you see in the Black community?
You're talking about fatherlessness and that there's this epidemic in the Black community of fatherlessness. But to date, what have you done to combat fatherlessness in the Black community?
Okay, so you're accepting that we have an issue with fatherlessness in the Black community. You're accepting that, I assume.
Actually don't. But
I'm not. You said that.
I didn't think so. So you're not accepting it, and you're asking me, what am I doing about something that you don't accept?
No, you're my question is clear as day. You say that it exists. You say that this exists. I'm acknowledging that. I'm acknowledging your statement.
You just said you weren't acknowledging it. So now you're acknowledging it.
No, I said I don't agree with it. I'm acknowledging what you have said. So do you not want to answer? You don't have to answer, because I think that's the answer. Have you not done anything to combat fatherlessness?
You just now acknowledged, in your opinion, that what I just now said isn't even a problem.
You're asking me, what have you done? Have you done anything?
That's a problem that you don't think is a problem.
Larry, we gotta go.
Larry,
hold on.
I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, I'll take that as a no. We gotta go. It's the woman in the house. You gotta at least. I'm not.
Fatherlessness, and now you want me to answer.
Larry, it's your campaign, Larry. Larry, this is your campaign. Your campaign is about fatherlessness. I'm giving you the floor to talk about how you have combat fatherlessness, because you say it is such an issue in this country, and you don't want to answer the question.
I'm happy to answer the question, provided that you acknowledge that there is a problem.
Larry, get the fuck out of here. Let me tell you why I say what I said, because I think you're taking my answer and attributing it to racial. But this is what I said. According to the CDC, 58% of black fathers live with one or more of their children, and even a larger majority, 72.7% of Black fathers talk with their children about things that happened that day several times a week or more. Black fathers, 70%. Were more likely to have bathed, dressed, diapered, or helped their children use the toilet every day compared with white and Hispanic fathers. I'm not saying that we don't need to address fatherlessness. What I am saying is whether or not rather than have a holistic conversation about the changing dynamic of the American family in totality and how it looks, sometimes Black men get demonized by right-wing talking points, acting like they don't love their children. I'm never ever going to have a disagreement with someone who wants to talk about the importance of fathers.
A young Black man, aged 10 to 43, is 13 times more likely to be murdered than a young white man, same demo. The number one cause of preventable death for a young white man, 19 years and under, is accidents, like car accidents or drownings or drug overdoses. The number one cause for death, preventable death for a young Black man, 19 years and younger, is homicide, almost always at the hands of another 19-year-old Black man and under. Blacks account for 60% of the homicides, the shootings, and the robberies in America. Now, I'm sure that neither of you is prepared to say that Black people are genetically inclined to commit more crime. And if you're not going to say that, and I hope you're not, then if it isn't fatherlessness, if it isn't the absence of a father married to the mother in the home, please tell me what it is that causes these stats.
Would you like me to answer that question?
I will answer it right now. The question.
So I answer that question. I'll answer that question. What influences any group of people not black people, not white people, not our Hispanic brothers and sisters, be they Afro-Latino or white identifying Hispanics. What influences crime, destitution, and violence in any community is lack of access to life-affirming structures. Is family a part of that? Okay.
Out loud, man.
Well, can I finish? You asked me to answer it. Larry, we got to go. Larry, please answer, what have you done to combat fatherlessness?
I'm waiting for Rachel to answer my question, then I'll respond.
I've already answered that question.
So you want me to respond to a problem that you don't think exists?
It's okay.
Okay, LarryElder.com, we really got to go.
Right, so that's where that conversation started and abruptly ended. And honestly, they're asking Larry Elder, what have you done to help the fatherlessness issue? Honestly, there's really nothing he can do. And except for on an individual level, there's nothing no one can do to combat the issue of absent fathers, because that is an individual decision. The woman is the one who determines who they're going to have a child with, right? It's her body, her choice. We've heard this multiple times. Women decide if a kid is brought into this world or not. Black women should be very aware of this, because we all know that Black women lead in the child deletion rates.
National statistics. More than 20 million Black babies have been aborted since the 1973 Roe v. Wade U.S. Supreme Court decision legalized abortion in our country. Non-Hispanic Black women have a significantly higher abortion rate, 23.8 per 1,000 women of reproductive age, than that of non-Hispanic whites, 6.6, and Hispanics, 11.7. 38.4% of all reported abortions in the U.S. in 2019 were performed on Black women. However, only about 13.4% of the total population is Black,
which is the highest among any race. So Black women are very aware of this. Hey, we bring life into this world, or we can decide not to. So that's where the conversation needs to be started. However, asking one man, what are you doing to combat the fatherlessness issue in the Black community? What can he do other than having kids while married and also protecting his seed? That's all you can do. That's all anybody can do in these types of situations. If I identify an issue by saying, hey, there's a problem with fathers not being in the household, what can I do as an individual outside of me making sure that I'm not one of those guys? Think about it. So to ask him, what are you doing? He did it. He identified the problem, or what he thinks is the problem. I don't. And we can move forward. But what else can he do? The people that decide to lay down and have children and have sex, they have to make sure that they do their part. And if he thinks it's an issue, those people aren't doing their part. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. If you have another way that you can combat somebody not having sex and having children, let me know, because I'm stumped. My answer is it's an individual issue. So those people who are having the kids have to deal with it themselves. So what I wanted to address is this, and I'm going to be perfectly clear with you guys. I don't think that there is an issue with Black fatherlessness in the Black community. And I'm going to tell you why. So, as we all know, the majority of Black men has already been proven to be in their children's lives and take care of their kids, right? So when I say majority, that can be 51% as opposed to 49% of Black men who don't take care of their children. As long as it's the majority, then that means that most Black men are in their children's lives. Can we agree on that? Cool. So 46% of Black men have ever fathered children.
The percentage of Hispanic men, regardless of nativity status, who had ever fathered a child, 50.1%, was higher than non-Hispanic white, 43.9%, and non-Hispanic Asian 35.0%, men, and was similar to the percentage for non-Hispanic Black men, 46.0%. The percentages of non-Hispanic Black and non-Hispanic white men who had ever had a child also were similar. The percentage who ever had a biological child was lowest among non-Hispanic Asian men.
That is a fact. 46% of Black men have ever fathered children. Now, the majority of 46% would be 23.5% of Black men are taking care of their kids in their children's lives. Keep that number in mind. 23.5%. I didn't even go higher. I could have went higher because I'm pretty sure it is it's probably a larger number of black men who are taking care of their children, because those studies wouldn't be out there that's saying that black men are the most involved. It's been reported multiple times. So keep that in mind. 23.5%. That's the lowest amount, a little more than half. So 54% of black men don't even have children.
A higher percentage of non-Hispanic white, 56.1%, and non-Hispanic Asian 65.0%, men had not fathered a child compared with Hispanic men, regardless of nativity status, 49.9%. The percentage for Hispanic men was similar to the percentage for non-Hispanic black men, 54.0%.
Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? 54% of black men have never fathered children. That is a fact. 54% plus 23% comes out to 77.5% of black men who either don't have children, have never fathered children, or are in their children's lives. 77.5%. That leaves approximately 22.5% of black fathers that are considered absent or deadbeats. But there is a large contingent of black women who have mothered children with non-black men.
21.68 million black women in the U.S. 61% of black women have mothered children. 61% of 21.68 million equals 13,224,800 black women have mothered children. 19.91 million black men in the U.S. 46% of black men have fathered children. 46% of 19.91 million equals 9,158,600 black men have fathered children. 13,224,800 black women have mothered children. 46% of 19.91 million equals 9,158,600 black men have fathered children equals black women have mothered 4,066,200 more children than black men have fathered.
So, if we know that 77.5% of black men either don't have kids or are in their children's lives, that leaves 22.5% of black men who could potentially be deadbeats, are men that are not in their children's lives. All of the issues that we see with the fatherlessness in the black community. So that's why I always want to make sure when you see people like Larry Elder get on these spaces and they say that, they never break down the numbers like I just did. That was very simple, right? If they're saying that the majority of black men are in their children's lives, just use 23.5% out of that 46% of black men who have ever fathered children. So, in my educated guess, using the statistics, I would say about 15 to 22.5% of black men are responsible for all of the issues that black women have with men not being there, abandoning their children, so on and so forth. But again, like I said, we already knew this was true because I've already reported that 59% of black women have mothered children by multiple men, like they have multiple baby fathers. So that further constitutes my point. So this is going to get clipped up. It's very simple. Anybody can do the math. The only way that somebody would be able to refute this is if I use some asinine number out of the 46%. I put it at half, 23.5%. So even if you still add those two numbers together, that gives you 77.5% of the black male population that are doing what they need to do, either protecting their seeds or in their children's lives. That's simple. That's why I say fatherlessness is not an issue in the black community. But you know what is an issue? Black women's discernment in the men that they pick. That's where the conversation needs to be had. So no, I don't want to talk about fatherlessness. I want to talk about the issues that our women have with the men that they decide to have children with, and why are they having all these children at a wedlock with 15 to 22% of the men. That's where the issue is, not with black men. So that's why I disagree with Larry Elder. He's never brought up any of these statistics or facts on any platform that I saw, because it's more palatable to say that the issue is with the fathers instead of placing the blame on the mothers, which is where the blame needs to be placed.
How can I be sure that you'll be right for me? You say you'll die for me.
Go ahead and make sure you click that link, get you some Teach Hanley, and support the Medium Man YouTube channel, and also support Teach Hanley.